Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. On today's show, are the Cowboys really one of the worst teams in the league? Plus, comedian Lil Duval stops by the show to talk about his red-hot Jacksonville Jaguars, and boy, it was fun. And as Mike Tomlin completely lost control of the Steelers. Skip Shannon, let's go. The 1-1 Cowboys. I'm sorry here, Skip, but they're ranked the 26th best team in the NFL. 26th, according to USA Today's newest power rankings. On the positive side, if there is one, the defense has 9 sacks in their first 2 games, but Dak Prescott has just 1 touchdown pass this season, and he's been held under 200 yards in both games. Shannon, are the Cowboys really this bad?
Yep, and they just rank. They just stink.
How do you say that with a straight face?
Yes. I'm
Seriously.
not going to be deceived by what they did to the Giants because the Giants scored 1 touchdown in game 1. They scored 1 touchdown in game 2. So I'm not going to be deceived by that. Now, if you're just talking about their defense, their defense is their defense bang bang. But it said Dallas Cowboys. So I can't differentiate between the offense and the defense. I'm talking about the Cowboys. Now, this is the same Cowboys team, Jenny, that didn't cross midfield in the first half against Carolina. That's that very team. That's averaging 14 points a game. Now, I don't know much. Now, the Ravens won that year in 2000, they gave up 10 points a game. Now, I don't know how many games you're going to. Now, Seattle, I think in the year they won the Super Bowl, they gave up 14. I don't think they have the kind of secondary to hold people in check like that. But this team, and what about old Dink and Dak? Now, there's 8 times in his last 10 games, he's been under 200 yards. And I know you're going to say, well, Troy Aikman. But Troy Aikman played in a time when everybody ran the football. There were a lot of quarterbacks that were under 200 yards throwing. Not one that was going to be expecting $30 million. No, Skip Bayless, this is who they are. I get, you're going to get off, and y'all play another cream puff on Sunday.
Cream puff at Seattle? Hey, I don't care.
Pete Carroll already called
how
that as
banged
quarterback.
up they are.
Pete Carroll called that as quarterback. You heard that? Called him out.
That could probably work in your favor. I'm pretty sure Bobby Wagner's going to play. I'm pretty sure KJ Wright's going to play.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not, but here's the thing. They don't press the ball down the field. And I know he had that one throw to Tavon Austin, but without that, he's averaging 4 yards an attempt, which would have been a career low for a game for Dak.
Okay.
Right now, Skip, I'm still not convinced they're the team that you think they are. That defensively, you're going to probably have problems with them because DeMarcus Lawrence is as good as they got at the defensive end position. But that offense leaves a lot to be desired. Zeke still doesn't have a 20-yard run. Dak still hadn't thrown for more than 200 yards. Ain't none of my business, though. But they are, in the words of Denny Green, they are who we thought they were.
Really? Well, that's not who you thought they were going into Sunday night because you picked the New York Football Giants.
Okay, so I'm 1-1. You're 1-1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have 3 letters to respond to you. LOL.
No.
To everything you just said. That's what I think of it because it is just flat out absurd that we're even having this conversation. It's comical that we're having this conversation because this is so egregiously wrong.
Why?
Can we just start with the premise that defense is actually half of football?
Yeah.
I don't know. Dare I say? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't count the defense.
So is the defense on the Cowboys?
This is a top 5 defense that already ranks 3rd in points allowed. I know it's very early, but they're second in sacks, and I believe this defense will lead the league in sacks before all is said and done. And it will be top 5 in points allowed before all is said and done. Just off the top, just on the surface, on that alone, they're not the 26th worst team in pro football.
What about the offense? What about offense on that point alone?
Excuse me, I think it's my
It's your turn.
Yeah, so
Okay,
you get to
let me sit back and go ahead.
You get
Go
to
ahead.
cross-examine?
Nope.
Well, I'm
Sit back
making
in.
my opening argument. I gave you 7 minutes to make your opening argument, and I did not interrupt. Am I correct,
Okay,
Ms.
go ahead.
Taft?
Yes, the floor
thank
is
you.
yours.
Thank you very much. So, my defense is about to add back Randy Gregory and David Irving and Dayton Jones. Those are 3 really good defensive linemen, all with different attributes and strengths. But Randy Gregory, can really fly off the edge. He is demonic coming off the edge. We got to keep him eligible.
Exactly.
Got to get him out of concussion protocol. But again, I'm about to add those people on defense. Now let's look at my offense. I am pretty sure, I don't think I'm even going out on the limb to predict my offense will lead the league in yards rushing before this year is over, because I don't just have a running back, I have a quarterback who, lo and behold, after I pounded this table for a whole week, he got to run a whole bunch of read option against the Giants. And did it work? Yes, it worked, because he weighs 250 pounds and he's pretty athletic and he knows how to slide and he's really good with the football. He can really put it in and pull it back out and take off with it. And he's going to keep defenses off balance because Ezekiel Elliott will play his way into shape. He's still got his little double chin from training camp because he did not play in any of the 4 preseason games. He will play his way into rough, raw shape.
23-year-old. Huh?
The farther you get, well, that's just what he's made of, but the farther you get, the deeper you get in the season, the more he's going to tear defenses apart and wear them down. And by the way, just a little known thing, after I beat the table for this last week, Bryce Butler has now returned to the Dallas Cowboys. He is Dak's favorite target from last year. He averaged 21 yards per catch last year. He's also Dak's favorite guy in the locker room because they are very close. So do not underestimate the addition of a Bryce Butler who's big and he's fast. Tavon Austin, can he run?
Yeah,
he can run. Can Deontay Thompson run? Yeah, he
All
can fly. He can fly. All of a sudden, I've got 3 guys who can really run. Well, guess what? That's going to stretch defenses because you're trying to deal with Zeke and the Dak and the Reid option, and all of a sudden, he can throw deep balls because you saw what he did to little Tavon to start the game. It's going to be harder and harder to defend. I think my line will get healthier and healthier with Travis Frederick. I think he's going to come back sooner than later because he's not even on IR. The kid, Connor Williams, I think he'll get a little better at left guard as we go.
But you hope that's
yeah,
what you hope.
Well,
you just told me on Monday that this line they're overrated and they weren't what they used to be.
I told you it's my biggest concern, but they're going to get better. They have to get better. They have to start living up and playing.
Why they have to get better?
Well, because
you said so?
They're going to have to live up to their defense. No, they're going to have to live up. Again, we're talking about, are they better than 26?
No.
And quick point about, I brought up Troy Aikman in the context of Dak Prescott. Troy Aikman, they ran the football. I don't know if it's the age of running the football because a lot of teams threw, but they ran the football and they ran to 3 championships by mostly running the football with Emmitt Smith behind the elephant offensive line that they had in those days. Well, guess what? Troy Aikman, for his career, averaged 199.6 yards passing per game. 199.6. Dak, through his career, albeit brief, 216 yards a game. So it's about right on schedule. Troy Aikman averaged 7 yards per attempt for his career. Dak's at 7.6 yards per attempt, so he's still a little above Troy.
It's a different game now, Skip. You know that. Everybody ran the ball in the 90s. You said if we can run the football and play defense, we can get to and win the Super Bowl. Now, nobody thinks they need to run the football to get to and win the Super Bowl.
Maybe we're going to turn back the clock. Maybe we're a throwback team.
Whoa,
Maybe
we're
going to make you eat your words.
Hold on. Well, how can you do that and say Dak is a top 5 quarterback if you're going to turn around and hand the ball to Zeke?
Because he doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't throw interceptions.
No, there's more
he makes critical throws at critical moments.
There's more to
That's why he had a top 3 QBR and a top 4 QBR.
Skip, there's a lot of things that can be true and be at play here. He can have a top 4 QBR and not be a top 4 quarterback. Just because statistically, somebody can throw for 5,000 yards. That doesn't mean they're the best quarterback in the NFL. Matthew Stafford threw for 5,000 yards. Nobody thought he was the best quarterback in the league. Nobody thought he was a top 5 quarterback at the time.
Okay. So, I think you're making my case. I agree. I'm with you. I like Dak Prescott because he makes plays at moments that they need to be made. He plays big on big
But what
stages.
happened last year?
Every time he meets Aaron Rodgers, he plays huge.
He's 1 and 2.
He's 1 and 2, but he's had 2 better QBRs out of the 3. And the third QBR, he had like.
I thought you liked Dubs. You like coming to my restaurant and me serving you hot Dubs. You sitting Dak to the restaurant getting hot ales.
I can't help it if Mason Crossbar makes a 56-yarder and a 51-yarder.
Don't do that.
Well,
and somebody tweeted me what you said.
What?
About Mason when he missed that field goal
Yeah,
on Sunday.
he
That
makes
was
them against
unnecessary.
us.
That
Well,
was
he makes-
unnecessary.
Yeah, I think you follow me.
No, that was
sneaky follow.
That was unnecessary.
You follow me as somebody else?
No,
You got like a
I ain't got no burner account.
No,
you got a burner follow account.
No,
time
but
for that.
all I'm saying is, Skip, is that you can't mention just that, oh, they got to top this defense. What about that offense? You didn't tell me where their offense is ranked. I know where the defense, their first.
So think about this. My offense scored 2 touchdowns against a very good New York Football Giants defense that allowed Blake Bortles only 1 touchdown on opening day, the same Blake Bortles who scored 4 touchdowns on Bill Belichick past Sunday.
Okay.
How do you explain that?
But there's no question about it. The Cowboys have more talent defensively than the New England Patriots. That's not even up for discussion.
Okay, so Jenny, can I borrow this a second? Because I
Yeah.
can't find my notes on
Yeah,
this.
you need the numbers?
I just got to look at these teams real quick. So
circle
here are the
Cowboys.
teams.
Yeah.
This is laughable to me.
Okay.
Are the Cowboys better than the 49ers? Yes,
No,
they are. Better than the Redskins? Please stop. Better than the Jets? Are you kidding me?
1-1.
Better than the Browns? Yes,
The
they
Browns
are.
should be 2-0.
Better than the Texans? Yes,
Let
they're
me ask you a
better.
question.
Better than the Colts and the Titans and the Dolphins? Are you serious?
Let me ask you a question.
You know what? The Cowboys are at least 10 slots higher than 26.
If you don't,
That's what they are.
if you don't mind,
Sorry.
if you
Thank
don't mind me asking, should the Browns be 2-0?
Should they be 2-0?
Yes. The field goal kicker.
guess so.
Had he not gagged off?
Are the Cowboys better than the Browns? Yep, they're just better.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No. They
Zeke
scored-
and Dak?
They didn't cross.
Now, if you put Baker Mayfield in, we'd have a whole different discussion.
First of all,
that is
when the Cowboys start crossing midfield, they didn't cross midfield in the first half of an NFL game, Skip
Yeah.
Bayless.
And guess what? Cam Newton's offense had 74 yards in the second half. 74, and it was a 1-score game at Carolina.
Oh, how many?
1 score.
And Jenny, guess what? And the Cowboys offense had 54 yards in the first half. Is that how we're going to do this, Skip Bayless?
No, how we're going to do it is that Dak and Zeke barely played in 4 preseason games.
How's that?
They just weren't ready. He's got all new receivers. He was just trying to figure out who to throw to when.
So now that's my fault.
That's not my fault. It's just
Yeah, that's your team.
No, it's just a fact.
It is.
Yeah, but you saw what started happening.
But if he's that guy.
They started clicking.
Aaron Rodgers, how much did Aaron Rodgers play in the
on
preseason?
Sunday night.
How much did Drew
He
Brees
played a
play?
lot more than my guy did.
No, he didn't.
My guy played 39 snaps. Tom Brady played 69 snaps.
And
in the preseason. Yeah.
There's a
thank
reason
you.
why Tom Brady is Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
What did you call Seattle? Did you say cream puff team? Is that what it was?
Cream puff.
they-
Really?
Something soft.
Yeah.
They're number
Interesting.
29, so you're going to get some help there.
Yeah, 29.
I don't think I'm going to get any.
29.
No mercy.
There is a whole lot of drama going on right now with the Steelers. Antonio Brown didn't show up for practice on Monday after he responded to a former Steelers PR guy on Twitter saying, quote, trade me. And an anonymous NFL assistant coach told Bleacher Report that it's, quote, a circus in Pittsburgh, and added that Tomlin has no control over it, adding fuel to the fire. The Steelers haven't won a game this season. Shannon, who's more at fault for the Steelers' issues, Antonio Brown or Mike Tomlin?
Mike Tomlin, because at the end of the day, he's the head coach. He's in charge. It's his job to make sure everything stays in place. AB is a symptom. He's not the cause.
Okay.
You see, this goes back. This started when AB started to become the AB that we know now, because he wasn't always like this. And the better he got, the less restraint they placed on him. And so now here he is. He's universally regarded as one or two, the first or second best receiver in all of football. So how do you rein him in? You know, Skip, when he did the Facebook Live post after the win in Kansas City a couple of years ago, Mike Tomlin says, you know, I'm not going to punish my team, meaning that AB is so good, I'll be punishing my team. Sometimes you have to punish the team to send a message to him. You're not punishing, yeah, you're punishing the team, but he knows now what he can do and get away with, and you have allowed it. So now you get guys, same thing with Seattle, with Pete Carroll. He allowed these guys to speak freely until all of a sudden they were speaking too freely. You got AB saying what he said, threaten the guy on Twitter, or I don't, you know, guys' social media posts, that's what they do. He didn't comment on that. AB, oh, I want to trade. Didn't comment on that. Ben, they draft Mason Rudolph. Ben, I ain't get no guy, whoa, why you drafted a quarterback? That pick would have been better served. Last year, they're doing the anthem. Well, one at the night before, this is what we're going to do. Come day of, well, I need to see the flag. Well, we need to be in the tunnel. Coaches need to be on the sidelines. So they're not as united as they would have you to believe. Now they're taking. It's funny how they view AB as being not selfish and they view Le'Veon as being selfish.
That's true.
You see, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. AB got his money.
He got a lot.
And he's still complaining about the amount of catches it's not like he's in a contract year, Skip. He needs his catches because they say, well, Antonio, you had a down year, so we can't give you because you had one of those years. He can't go to them and say that. They gave him his money, and he's still unhappy. They mad at Le'Veon talking about he's selfish. He's not thinking about the team. When Antonio Brown is walking up and down the sideline and he's getting, his position coach is trying to talk to him, the offensive coordinator is trying to talk to him, and he's walking off. Who do you think Antonio Brown is thinking about? Is he thinking about the team, or are you thinking about his own individual stats?
Yep.
Hint. Yeah, I don't get it. But I tell you what, Skip, look at their schedule. I don't see a whole lot of wins getting on there. They're supremely talented offensively, but defensively they're challenged. And they're going to play some teams that offensively they can go get 35, 40 on you in the drop of a hat.
Yep.
But Mike Tomlin has the better responsibility of this because he's allowed this to fester.
Yep.
And now, Antonio Brown, you got hell on your hands, Skip, because he knows what he is. And he knows he hasn't been called to the carpet by his head coach. And so he's going to keep it going. Mike Tomlin is the sole person responsible for this. It's his job.
So do you figure Antonio is going to outlast Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh?
Skip, in 50 years, they've had 3 head coaches. They normally allow the head coaches to go when they want to.
True.
But at the end of the day, they've given Mike Tomlin a lot as far as offensively. You look at what they have. They should be better than what they are. They should have won more than what they have.
I agree.
You got a Hall of Fame coach, a Hall of Fame wide receiver, potential Hall of Fame running back, and with this unit, you don't even have a Super Bowl appearance on your resume. This will be an epic failure if they don't get to and win a Super Bowl with this talent on this roster.
That is true. Speaking of at the end of the day, I think we're getting to the end of the day of Mike Tomlin's run in Pittsburgh, and it's been mostly a great run. And this is hard for me to talk about because I am a big Mike Tomlin fan. And the irony of this is, I don't know how many times on television I've said, if I played in the NFL, I would want to play for that guy because every time I hear him speak after a game on television, before a game, whenever, I just come up out of my chair.
Yes.
He excites me.
He does.
I would want to play for him. But I might be not damning with faint praise, but damning with the wrong praise because maybe that's why he's having a hard time. Because I'm going to point out that our guy James Harrison, who obviously played many a year for Mike Tomlin, sat right there, and said he needs to be more disciplined. That he played for briefly Coach Belichick, and it's regimented, it's structured. There's a fear factor. When he walks in the locker room or through the locker room, you're looking sideways like, what did I do, right? What did the great Terry Bradshaw say about Mike Tomlin? Well, he talked about his guy, Chuck Noll, who was, to quote Terry, a tough sucker. And Terry said he was afraid of Chuck Noll, and I think from a distance he's not afraid of Mike Tomlin, that he thinks he's not disciplined enough as far as maintaining control of the locker room.
Right.
He is the ultimate player's coach. And he let Antonio, to me, go over the edge into solo stardom because if there's ever been a bigger social media star, I don't know it, especially in the NFL. Maybe LeBron is, but LeBron can handle it. He was already a mega star.
Before he got to the NBA.
He didn't need social media to become a star. Antonio is a product of the explosion of social media. And it sort of erupted the wrong direction for the first time was right after that Kansas City went up in the cold. They scratched and clawed out a low-scoring win, remember?
Like
and he goes,
16.
and he goes live on Facebook in the locker room as Mike Tomlin is giving this hellfire and damnation speech about how those so-and-sos up in New England got a head start on us because they got to play an earlier game, right? And it was just a bad look. And Antonio's grinning, looking, just playing to the Facebook camera. And to me, he's become the ultimate solo act in pro football. And to me, and not trying to pile on Terrell Owens, but my issue with Terrell was always, you're more interested in you than the team. Like it's hard for the team to win a championship when you think you're the biggest star in the team and you're a solo act, you kind of keep to yourself.
Right.
You celebrate by yourself. You aren't a team first guy. It's just hard. You know how football works. You were a team first guy and you're in the Hall of Fame. Okay, that's a pretty good combination. That's the ultimate combination.
But that's the thing I don't get, Skip, is that people view Antonio Brown as a team guy.
How?
But his antics says he's anything but that. Mm-hmm. You look at and since the last say 3-4 years, after every last game the Steelers play, well, Ben might retire. I don't know. I got to see how my body feels. I got kids now.
Yep.
I got a wife now.
Yep.
He retires. He unretires. He's thinking about retiring.
Yep.
Le'Veon wants his money. Le'Veon, you being selfish. You need to come in here and play for these peanuts. Mm-hmm. We're the reason why you are. AB is throwing Gatorade coolers because he doesn't catch 100 passes in a game, but he's a team guy. AB wants to win. Hell, Le'Veon wants to win too, but Le'Veon says, I want to win and get paid like AB wants to win and get paid, like Big Ben wants to win and get paid.
So did Mike Tomlin paying Antonio? I don't know if that was his decision, maybe not. Maybe that came from far upstairs.
But you know what, Skip? I don't know what's his control. I don't know how much he says he has over the final 53, who comes, who goes, but it's hard for me to believe that he didn't at least say, okay, yeah, we need him, because he spoke so glowingly about him. As he said, he wasn't going to punish Antonio Brown to the extent that he punished his team. Well, with Coach Belichick, he doesn't have to worry about punishing his players to punish the team because he knows the players are going to be in accordance.
So one of the strongest opinions you've had in the history of Undisputed was after the Facebook Live in Kansas City, you said, that's too much?
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah, I'd have moved on.
You would have moved on.
I'd have moved on, yeah.
Okay? And I respected the heck out of that opinion, and the Steelers did not, because they went ahead that offseason and gave him his money. Well, once you do that, you have recreated the monster. Now all bets are off because you have no way to sort of mitigate the circumstance anymore.
Because here's the thing, Skip, he was wanting his money in acting like this. Yeah. You would think, because what you said about Odell is that Odell was on his best behavior because he wanted to get paid. Well, Antonio Brown was doing this before he got paid.
He was.
So once you pay him, what do you think you're going to get?
More of the same.
It's like if, I'm an animal lover, had dogs. It's like if you get a puppy, you have to housebreak it. Yeah. If you let the dog go in the house, Skip, when he's a puppy, he gets 2 to 3 years old, he goes in the house. You're like, why are you still doing that? Mm-hmm. Well, you let him as a puppy. When Antonio Brown, before he became AB, when he was Antonio Brown, now he's AB. So when he's coming up through the ranks,
that's true.
You have to, hey, no, bro, you can't do that. Mm-mm. Now you let him get AB. Now he's AB. He's had 100 catch, 125, 130, 1,600.
All by the way, he is really good.
He's really good.
He backs it up.
But that's the thing. You got to get to him before he gets really good, and he's approachable. You can talk to him because once he gets really good, he's going to tune you out. Yep. And that's what's happening. I came along at the right time because I'd have had a problem with a lot of these guys in the locker room, because at the end of the day, I don't care how many passes you catch. If we not winning, I got a problem. Yep. You being selfish, I got a problem.
Yeah. So to me, Antonio has gone what I call through the looking glass, to where he has become the guy in the mirror, like you become your image, right, where you don't even know who you are anymore. I've worked with some people way back in the day in television where I've seen them just become who they were on TV, and they don't even know who they are off camera anymore. Right. That's who he has become, and it's scary to me because I know him well enough to know somewhere in there's a really good guy. Yes. He's just lost perspective. And meanwhile, Mike Tomlin, according to lots of, Mike Freeman wrote this for Bleacher Report today, has lost control of the locker room because of this. When the locker room sees you can't control your biggest star, and I think he's the biggest star. I think he's become at least as big as Ben. Right?
Oh, no.
Maybe bigger.
He might be more beloved than Big Ben.
I think he is. I would agree with that. So when you can't handle that guy, and what did he do on Monday? He didn't come to work, man. There's certain.
Who doesn't come to work?
Antonio just didn't show up. No, that's what I'm saying. But I told you yesterday, I've been covering this league for many, many years, and this is one line you just don't cross. No. You can do a lot of antics, you can do a lot of things, but you have to show up when you're supposed to show up, right?
Because here's the thing, Skip. If you go 5 minutes late and the coaches don't check you, you're going to say, well, if I came 5, what about 10?
Yep.
What about 15?
Push it.
And then eventually you're like, well, hey, I'm not going to show up to work. And
Yep.
Skip, it's never even dawned on me to not come to work.
Just sleep
I'm talking about. It's never dawned on me. Skip, I was late for 2. I remember the first time I was late, my rookie year.
Yep.
I was riding with someone. I didn't have a vehicle.
Okay.
I'm waiting on him. I'm getting antsy. I'm calling. He doing something he ain't got no business. That's neither here nor there. I'm late. I called my brother. I said, man, Spank, man. I was like, bro, I was late. He's like, why were you late? I said, man, you know I ain't got no car. I said, and I was waiting on somebody to come give me a ride. He said, when you get back to Denver, because we was in training camp, you take your butt, you call the people. He signed for me to get a car.
Wow.
He said, no, we don't do that.
Okay, well, obviously you didn't choose not to report to work that
No,
day.
no. If I had to walk to Greeley, I would go get a hitchhike. I was going.
I got it.
Dude, how you not come to Skip? How you not come to work? Do you not forget you got a job?
I saw your alarm go off at 2 a.m. You got me beat, but that's a whole different discussion.
Somebody follows me on Instagram. Thank you, Jenny.
He's getting pretty fun to follow.
I have 2 followers on Instagram.
I was up at 2:22 this morning because Tonka barked and he had to go outside.
There you
I
go.
gotta step up my game.
No mercy.
So get this, Tom Brady felt trapped this offseason and was so upset with Bill Belichick that in late March he wasn't certain if he would return to the Patriots. This is all according to a new book about Belichick by Ian O'Connor. The book also goes into Deflategate and Spygate, in addition to the relationship between Brady and Belichick. Reportedly, Brady's family felt Belichick would push Tom out before he was ready to retire, and Brady's sister was even quoted saying her brother believed Belichick would do to him what the Colts did to Peyton Manning. A source told O'Connor about Brady and Belichick, quote, if you're married 18 years to a grouchy person who gets under your skin and never compliments you, after a while, you want to divorce him. Tom knows Bill is the best coach in the league, but he's had enough of him. If Tom could, I think he would divorce him. We are joined by FS1 NFL analyst D'Angelo Hall. But first, and good morning.
Thank you.
Can't wait to hear what you have to say. But to get Skip on my good side, let's go to you first.
This is the first and probably the last
And
time.
the last.
How will this play out, Skip?
I'm going to say what I've said before, and people think I'm exaggerating or kidding or tongue-in-cheek about this, but I'm not. I believe that after last year's Super Bowl, Robert Kraft should have fired Bill Belichick and elevated Josh McDaniels to be the head coach. And remember, in the 11th hour, he kept Josh McDaniels on staff, and it sure looks like he's the successor to Bill Belichick. I believe that the bridge has been burned between Brady and Belichick. I believe that the bond was broken on the draft night back in May of 2014 when Bill Belichick was able to land Jimmy Garoppolo in the second round of the draft and then stated publicly that he cited Tom's age and his contract and the fact that you want to be early as opposed to late when you're refilling the quarterback position. So clearly Bill Belichick wanted to go forward this season with Jimmy Garoppolo, and clearly for the first and maybe the last time, Robert Kraft intervened and said, no, I'm going to make a football decision. You will trade Jimmy Garoppolo. So effectively, Tom Brady won, and it felt like almost out of spite that Bill Belichick, during this past Super Bowl, opted not to play Malcolm Butler a single snap of the game. Tom Brady, according to the book, was angry. I think the whole locker room was outraged over it, and they had a right to be because it's just inexplicably wrong. And it feels sabotagey to me, as if Bill.
You love that word.
Well, it's just, I'm not going to say it's flat out sabotage, but it's sabotagey that you don't play your best defensive back a single snap after he played the most snaps of any defensive back the whole year. It's just wrong. And to me, that's a fireable offense. Like you rebelled. You said, okay, watch this, Mr. Kraft. If you think you can make football decisions for me, watch what I do in the Super Bowl. He obviously turned on Tom Brady. He turned on him during Deflategate because he did his own press conference on that Saturday in between the two weeks. And he said, you want to know, ask my quarterback. And according to the book, Tom and his family were miffed over that. I think that's not strong enough of a word, miffed. Yeah. You like that word because you think it applies to his family, right? They don't get angry, they just get miffed, right? Yeah. Miffed. And then one thing after another has happened all the way to the AFC Championship game last year when Brady played with 12 stitches in the palm of his throwing hand in the cold in Foxborough and threw for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And Belichick dares to say after the game, it wasn't exactly open heart surgery. You got to have his back. You at least have to applaud your quarterback for playing with the stitches. And then the following day on WEEI, he said, it was more of a media circus than a football crisis. Well, these are deal-breaking comments that you're making about a quarterback who's won 5 Super Bowls and who then went on to throw for 505 yards in a losing effort in that Super Bowl without Malcolm Butler. It's one thing after another. I don't blame Tom for being upset. I don't blame him for what he told Jim Gray a couple of months back, before camp started when he said, do you feel appreciated? He said, I plead the fifth, because his coach doesn't appreciate him. Coach wants all the credit.
Ask him, was he happy? Sometimes.
I have my moments, he said. I have my moments. Well, I think those were honest from the heart answers, because I think that's where he sees his plight now as he tries to coexist with Bill Belichick. I feel sorry for Brady to the point that I think he's going to outlive Belichick in New England. And I'm going to say it again. If Belichick keeps giving up as he did in the Super Bowl, 538 yards and 41 points to Nick Foles, and then to Blake Bortles, 481 and 31, I don't know. Are you losing your fastball because you're not living up to your end of the bargain?
This is a very weird relationship. I think we all can agree with that. Mm-hmm. But when you say that Tom will outlive Bill there in New England, I just disagree, because at some point Tom will not be able to play at the same high level he's playing at. Bill's going to be able to coach.
45. That's
but Bill's going to be able to coach for a long time.
Okay.
For as
how long
as he
can
wants
this
to.
teeter along?
But how long can can this relationship work?
As long as
I don't know.
As long keeps swallowing his pride.
Exactly. I heard Bill say, or somebody said in the book that that Bill felt like they could win, or that staff could win with any quarterback.
The top 15. Give him a.
I don't know a top 15 quarterback who's taking discounts like Tom has. So therefore, you're not building the same kind of team.
Point.
And so it's the intangible things that Tom, I think, brings to the table. But for these two guys to not be able to coexist at this point in the relationship, I mean, they compared it to a marriage. At some point in a marriage, when two people are together, they learn to just
suck it up.
Just suck it up. Yeah.
Hey,
I ain't going nowhere now. At this point, I'm not going anywhere, right?
I ain't never
Let's
been
make it work.
Still.
How many times have we seen that? I know in movies and things like that, but they still live together. It's an arrangement.
Put it like this. I've never been married. But when I get married, when we get mad, okay, I'm going upstairs, you go downstairs, or I go downstairs. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Ain't nobody leaving. So we here. And here's the thing. Now, he says, if you married, let's say, if you're married 18 years to a grouchy person who gets under your skin and never compliments you, okay, he's always been like this.
Always.
So now it's a problem. See, this is how I am, Skip. When I come into the relationship, I'm coming with LV bags and blood bottoms. So I start like that, I end like that, so you know what to expect.
Okay.
See, if I give you something in the end that I didn't do in the beginning, you're like, what you up to? You been doing something, You bringing me flowers, you bringing me bags, you buying me this, you never did this before. Coach Belichick keep it 100. He said, Tom, this is how I treated you when you got here. Yeah. See, Coach Belichick is looking at it like this. You must move on from the quarterback 1 year early as opposed to 1 year too late because of the financial restraints, and it's the one position that impacts the team more than any other position in all of sports.
Right.
More than a point guard, more than a center, more than a pitcher.
No doubt.
So Coach Belichick said,
you don't want that guy to hit the wall in game 2 of some year.
Right, and have me handcuffed and I can't do anything about it. So Coach Belichick is looking long term. See, Tom's friends and his family, they think Tom Brady should be out there on a motorized scooter, still trying to play quarterback because what he's done for this team. That's not how it works, Skip Bayless. You know that.
Well, does he look like he's on a motorized scooter?
No, not now, but at some point he will.
Okay, but he says till 45, and I'm not going to bet against him.
Skip, I promise you, I can see Tom as a guy who will not know when to leave.
Okay. Yes.
That's fair.
He will pull a Jerry Rice, and I love Jerry Rice to death. But the reason I say Randy Moss is the greatest of all time is because I had the chance to cover a Jerry Rice. And it was an old Jerry Rice. It was a Jerry Rice in Seattle.
Yeah.
And that guy nowhere compares to the Jerry Rice in San Francisco. Even in Oakland, he was great with Tim Brown.
Okay, and just remember, Tom Brady just won the MVP.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. I think Tom has a couple more years. I think Bill tried to push him out a little too early. If he'd have drafted Jimmy G a couple years ago and he still had him under contract, I think Jimmy's still there. But because of the timing they drafted him, it was either move on from him or pay him, and they obviously couldn't pay him.
Well, Tom said he wanted a divorce. They keep talking about Tom wants a divorce, but when he had an opportunity to divorce the situation, he went upstairs to his surrogate father and asked.
Okay, what did you want him to do? Just walk out the back door and say, "I give up"?
Just go, Mr. Krabs.
I'll go play for San Francisco.
No, but he had the power. If he wanted to go, he could have been gone.
It's become abundantly clear to me, Mr. Krabs,
he has that power.
that you guys want to go
He
with
might
him.
also have had the power at that point to say, me or him, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
Right.
either he's going to go or I'm going to go.
Exactly.
Right? And he didn't do that. Aren't you going to give him some credit for that?
Because Coach Belichick wasn't going nowhere.
But you know
Well,
what?
how do you know that?
Coach Belichick said, I built this.
What if
But
Tom
you
Brady
heard-
said, I'm out?
Coach Belichick said, I'm the brick mason.
But you heard
I built
Tom
this
say-
castle.
You heard Tom say that Coach Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. You didn't hear Coach Belichick say Tom Brady was
Heck
the best
no.
quarterback of all time.
You heard some
And
right-hand
that's the
man of
difference.
his
Tom,
say anonymously,
you know, we
we
said
could do
Tom
with any
could've-
15 quarterbacks.
Because Coach Belichick knows that he can take any quarterback,
That's a bunch of
any of the top five
I don't agree
quarterbacks.
with that.
So let me ask you a question. He has Aaron Rodgers. You think he can win a Super Bowl with Aaron? Stop playing, D-Hall.
I think he can, but I don't think this roster is the same with Aaron getting $30 million versus Tom's bargain.
Well,
bargain deal.
Time out. Is his defense going to give up 541 yards a game?
Oh, like Aaron Rodgers' defense been giving up since he's been in Green Bay?
I don't
Except
think
that
it's
Super
been
Bowl season?
Except
541.
that Super Bowl season.
Yeah. You want to talk about that, Skip?
Well,
now
it's
you
not
know what
that
Aaron
bad.
Rodgers feels like. When his
I
defense,
don't know. He's never had a defense that gave up 538 and 41
No,
points.
his defense gave up 51 in the divisional game.
That was the first game he ever played.
So does it make a difference? If a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, does it make a sound?
Okay, but you say,
It
why should he
happened.
want a divorce? The guy he's quote unquote married to is no longer holding up his end of the bargain. As long as if Belichick was putting a top 5 defense out there, Tom would say, I'll just coexist. I'll just suck it up and swallow it and
Yeah,
coexist.
but man, listen, you got married to a guy that didn't tell you he loved you and didn't hold your hands.
Yeah.
Now you're 18 years deep, you're mad because he doesn't tell you he loved you and he doesn't hold your hand. What's the problem?
Well, the problem is Blake Bortles threw for 4 touchdowns against Bill Belichick's genius defense. What do you think Brady thought on the flight home? What do you think he thought?
This defense hasn't been a New England style defense or Belichick style defense for a while now.
For a while.
But
That
it's
is
because every great defensive player they have,
They let him go.
Find a way to get him out of there and bring another guy.
And you know why he's done that? So that he could get all the credit. He'll cut bait with the guy because he doesn't want stars on defense. He wants cogs because he wants the lion's share of the credit. And Tom Brady has allowed him to get away with that because Tom Brady is the ultimate deodorant because he'll just take over a game in the fourth quarter and win it by himself, basically, with a bunch of nobodies at receiver, a bunch of little white guys that you don't have a lot of respect for. Well, I'm
they
serious.
Some good players now. They some good players.
Thank you. I've been trying to tell
They
it
some
that.
good players.
But here's
Julian Edelman, Chris Hogan, Danny Amendola.
Edelman's a good
These
player.
are late round
Hogan's a good player,
undrafted.
too.
He
You're
got-
right.
he got that-
all right.
They got a heck of a scouting department up there in New England.
Think about what you said. The last 4 meaningful playoff games, 3 Super Bowls and AFC Championship game. Only one time did the Patriots defense allow points in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter in overtime against Atlanta, 0. Fourth quarter against Jacksonville, 0. Fourth quarter against Seattle, 0. They gave up 8 to Philly and they lost.
It helps when number 12 takes the whole game over and keeps the ball from the other team. It's just drive after fourth quarter drive for touchdown. You know it and I know it.
What about when Dante Hightower hit Matt Ryan in his mouth and got that fumble on the 12-yard line?
You need something.
What did Tom do? Exactly. You see, Tom Brady. What part did Tom Brady play in that?
Yeah, but how good was that defense for 3 quarters of that game? It was horrendously
But
bad.
they didn't let 'em get
They're
out.
down 28-3.
Exactly. But it could have been 38-3. It could have been 41-3. But they didn't let him get any more separation.
Yeah, Tom Brady just said, no, we're not going to let this happen.
Oh, so what happened?
See what he goes psycho Tom.
Okay, when Tom Brady scored and he had to go off the field, what role did he play in that part?
By that point, Atlanta was psychologically devastated. You know it, and Matt Ryan turned back into Matt Ryan.
Okay, Skip, let me ask you this question then. How did it get to 28-3?
Did Tom Brady not
What
have
was
the ball?
Tom doing? Yeah, did he not?
He threw one bad ball.
Just one bad ball in the whole first half.
I don't know.
You do know. You watched the game.
Yeah, but it's
I'm
a
just saying
fourth-quarter
he's
game.
human.
But
Things happen.
Thank you.
He's the greatest fourth-quarter player in the history of this league. The greatest. He's done it game after Super Bowl game. I'll show you all this fourth quarters. They're astonishing.
What about how many points
we're
of the
not
defense?
arguing that
we're not
Tom
debating his greatness,
isn't a
but
great
you trying to
quarterback.
minimize Coach Belichick's
we're saying-
greatness.
we're saying
You're the
they're
one
both
who
great.
said earlier in the show, it's a quarterback's game.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And this is the greatest quarterback by far
And
ever.
even the greatest quarterback, after throwing for 500 yards, after having 634 total yards, when his defense couldn't get a stop, he took the L.
Well, but it couldn't get a stop the whole game. It wasn't just in the fourth quarter.
But you know, Tom Brady did go through. Tom Brady did not get points on his first 3 possessions in the Super Bowl either.
Well,
so he could have scored.
He's human.
Oh, but now
Wait
he-
a second. You just said he didn't get points on his first 3 drives. He threw for 505 yards. No human in the history of pro football in any playoff game ever played in the history of pro football has ever thrown for 505 in any playoff
Could I-
game.
I don't think
And
anybody's
you say,
been down
he didn't
28
get points
where
on
they
it.
had to throw
Really?
it every play.
But here's the thing. Guess who
What
else
a
is,
cheap shot.
Guess who else is human? Coach Belichick. Human.
Human, as
Human.
in maybe he's the guy who lost his fastball.
You know what, Skip Bayless? Stop
No,
saying
no,
that.
I'm serious.
No, he's not.
Well, I've just seen 2 big games in a row where the defense is
No.
pitiful.
Hold on.
It's pitiful.
But you didn't say that. But you at AFC.
What did I tweet the other day? Smell a chick. It's smell a chick defense.
Whatever.
We're
Was it
reading
not?
all the tweets, Skip. Not every tweet that you
Well,
post
I don't
do we
care if you
see.
read any of my tweets.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
Yeah, that's why you tweet them out there.
Hey, I read them.
I'll just
Skip.
wait
Oh,
for
you
the
do?
others.
I read them.
No, you're
Thank you.
just trying to
I do.
be nice.
I
right?
read Shannon's too, though.
Yeah, I'll be on them.
D'Angelo, thank you
You're a
for being
sneak.
here. Always a good time.
No mercy.
Our next guest is a stand-up comedian. You know him from MTV's Guy Code. His newest song, Smile with Snoop Dogg, is so popular that Shannon, he just can't stop singing. All right, he's also from Jacksonville, so a huge Jags fan. Lil Duval, welcome to Undisputed.
Welcome.
We are
What's
so glad
happening?
you're
What's
here.
happening?
Bring in
Nah.
the energy.
Nah, you got to drop that look. We just go back straight Duval. You got
Duval?
that.
I'm still little.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't grow none.
Yeah, I know.
I still ain't had my growth spurt yet.
Yeah, when you hit that thing. Show him your shoes. Show Skip your shoes.
Hold up, come on, Skip. Look at them.
Look what he
Skip.
got on, Skip.
Come on, no socks now. No socks.
You
I had
trying to
do
be like
an
your
OG.
big brother over here?
Come on, ooh, come on.
Tell him what kind of
No
shoes
socks.
them
are.
The only thing mine is a little different because I wanted to ask you, OG, like,
Yeah.
how do you wear these with no socks? 'Cause they are killing my ankles.
Nah.
Good point.
Them Stacey Adams. That's what's killing his
Stacey
ankles.
Adams, like,
Well,
Stacey-
I'm
That's
just,
them deacon shoes that pray in the church. You know, that's before Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm just glad this isn't smell-o-vision. Because that's what we
You
got
smell my
going on.
feet?
Yeah, I
Come on,
smell his
Skip.
feet. From
No.
across-
You don't smell my feet.
So
Skip.
I got to ask you, as Jenny said, you are a stand-up comic by trade, and out of nowhere, you hit the lottery with Smile.
Yeah, man.
Living my best life, and it just comes from nowhere. How did it? What's the genesis of it? How did it start?
It started from me living my best life for real, because that's really what I do. I'm true to what I say in my rhymes.
Yeah.
You know? So I was living my best life, and like I do all my songs come from a joke I do, and that come from a joke I used to do always online called Smile B. You know, I used to always say that because when people be tripping off a little small stuff, I'd be like, man, just smile. There ain't nothing to be tripping off. So that's where this song came from. So I made that song, and here we are today.
You know what it comes across to me, just my 2 cents? It's like this generation's "Don't worry, be happy," because that's the
Yeah,
message
that's
of the
what it's
song,
supposed to
right?
be.
Right.
Because in the end, you're saying if you're breathing, you're achieving.
Yeah,
so
we having
enjoy it,
fun
right?
this evening, believe me.
Right. All right.
You know, that's OG Snoop. Shout out to Snoop.
How did you go from being a comedian? I mean, there are very few comedians that go from being a comedian to singing. Eddie Murphy did it, had the album, went to #2 on the Billboard. But did you?
This is what I always done from day one. Like
Really?
my first joke that blew me up was a song where I flipped the song by buying a girl a drink in the club.
Right.
You know, and that's by buying a girl a drink in the club. She left me, and I'm like, you owe me my $8.
Right.
You know, so that's what kind of got me in. So I've always been incorporating music with comedy. So this is nothing new for me.
So
Go ahead, Skip.
No,
Go ahead, Skip.
So the Duval comes from obviously
Come on,
Duval
man.
County,
Come on.
Jacksonville.
Duval.
Come on. You
So-
see what we doing?
Long time you have ridden with your Jag.
Come on, ride or die.
You've ridden through some rough patches, right?
Tell me.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you have room to gloat.
Come
to
on.
Beat that chest, and you got lots of.
Come
stuff
on,
your
come on. You
chest
see,
to
I got
beat.
the chest hair
You got
showing.
lots of.
You got that taco meat going on. That taco
Rest in
going
peace,
on.
Burt Reynolds.
Those
Come
are
on, I do
real,
this for
right?
Burt Reynolds. Yeah, I had to show my chest hairs. You know,
I
we
like
winning
that.
and everything.
I like that. So gloat. Go ahead.
Come on,
Tell
man.
us about it.
Man, I'm just happy we winning. I knew when Tom Coughlin came back, I was like, we going back. You
Yeah,
know? And
good
so,
point.
So now we just doing, and I want to send a public apology to Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles, because I've been dogging him for a while.
okay.
Yeah.
But now he doing his thing.
He did
so
it.
I got to show him love, man.
But you had reason to dog him. He wasn't fulfilling his obligation.
Yeah, I was trying to get him up out of here.
Okay.
I swear I was.
So was your OG over there.
Yeah, because he was throwing all type of wobbly ball. He was throwing at us in the crowd more than he was to the wide receiver.
I know.
But now he throwing it. Shout out to Moncrief. You see Moncrief, he caught that ball. You saw that?
Cole, the one they caught it with one hand.
That was Moncrief.
No, that was Cole.
that was Keelan Cole.
That was
Cole.
Keelan.
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm positive.
All right.
See, I knew now I sound crazy on
But
here.
Moncrief
My
had-
man told me not to sound crazy. I
Okay.
know.
No,
Y'all
but Moncrief
sure?
had
Yeah.
big catches in the game, too.
You know, you hit the flowers before you came on the show?
Of course I did. Come on,
You
man.
supposed to wait till afterwards.
No, man. I got to smoke before and after. Because after I'm be telling, man, I was just sitting here with Shannon Sharpe.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
well, you might. I don't know. I might not remember that.
Well,
Come on,
Shannon's
man. Hey, man. Well, if y'all want to come smoke with me, just hit me up. You know
all
I
right.
got
Well,
my...
Skip don't smoke anymore.
No,
You don't smoke no more?
anymore?
Oh, Jenny, Jenny.
I was like, this is taking a turn. We are.
Oh, my bad.
No, but I mean, he's so happy.
We just living our best life.
I know.
Come
Clearly.
on, now.
Jenny, he's just so happy about it. Jay, look at his photo up there. He's just so happy.
Yeah, man. Like, we going to the Super Bowl. I see it.
Always
And
gotta
I'm not
smile.
going back and forth with nobody. We going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so help us out. Blake Bortles is going to carry you to the Super Bowl?
No, the defensive line is going to carry us.
All right. So
And Jalen. We gonna
Jalen?
just trust me.
Yeah.
Just trust me. And I'm performing at the halftime. I'm speaking it into the existence.
okay.
Whoa. You from Jacksonville.
Okay.
You got to tell, hold on. Luda get first dibs. No, Outkast get first dibs. Mm-hmm. Luda, T.I. Yeah, they get first dibs.
They done did their thing. They done did their thing.
No, that's Atlanta.
It's about me though. The
Duval.
Jaguars is going to the Super
It's
Bowl.
in LA, it ain't in Jacksonville.
But we ain't that far. We 5 hours away in the car. Anybody with a box Chevy pulling up.
No.
Yes, it is. That's how we do.
We-
Box
we-
Chevys
we-
and verts and dunks. We
You the
pulling
only
up.
one. You the only one from Jacksonville that we allowed to A. You know that.
No. It's a lot of people from Jacksonville in the A, man.
We don't claim them.
Come on,
We'll
man. Don't do
claim
that.
You.
Come on. But I claim Jacksonville, so I got to claim
I
everybody.
know, but where you live?
I live in Atlanta right
Okay,
now.
then, thank
Well,
you.
I know somebody who grew up much closer to Jacksonville than to Atlanta.
I did.
Am I right?
I grew up about 90 minutes.
Where you grew up from, man?
Glenville, Georgia.
Glenville?
Yeah.
Where that's by?
I'm an hour from Brunswick. South
Oh,
Brunswick,
man.
Yeah.
You really from the hood, man?
Not
We born here,
not the
bro.
hood, but no.
Yeah.
Skip,
No,
don't hate Skip.
I'm not hating.
Smile, Skip.
I'm truth
Smile,
telling. I'm
Skip.
truth telling.
Come on.
I'm living my best life.
Come on,
I don't
baby.
know about you, but
Hey,
I'm living my best
Put that
life.
shoulder on one time.
Wait.
Put that shoulder on the wall.
You know why I'm living my best life?
Why?
Because I'm a Brady fan, and I think Brady's going to do you guys in before this is over.
You won't bet nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
already
will
won't
bet
bet
something.
nothing.
You won't bet nothing.
I will
Bada
bet
bang.
you that New
If-
England gets to the Super Bowl before Jacksonville does.
Okay, and if
Yeah.
if they don't get to the Super Bowl, you got to kill them with the shoulders on that episode.
Okay.
On that episode after that
Deal.
week.
Deal.
Bet.
Bet. Done.
Whoa, don't hear that.
We should have just thrown that across.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
I wanted to drink from this cup. I always wanted to.
Tell me how much you feel.
They ain't hearing that.
Looks good.
They ain't hearing
This
that.
ain't here and here.
But see, old Jenny, Jenny from Minnie, and she be on that Henny
Henny,
or
yeah.
Plenty. Okay.
Came up with that recently.
Yeah, yeah. Jenny on that brown
You
stuff.
gotta smoke some of mine. You know, I got my own weed.
So, Lil,
What's that? Why you
Tell
call
me
me
how-
Lil? It's Duval.
you told me how little you were.
Yeah, I'm
so I was
Lil,
trying-
but a lot of these white people always call me Lil. It's Duval. That's what they think my
All right,
first
Duval.
name. Come on.
How much do you fear Tom Brady?
I don't fear him. Did you see what we did? We just keep him off the field.
I saw what
Keep
Blake
him
Bortles
off the
did.
field.
Blake Bortles did it to Belichick's defense.
But did you see how many yards he passed?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
What we did, like 300? What Blake Bortles did? He like
377.
377. Hold on, I got the stats right here. Hold up.
Okay.
In 2 games, he did 5 TDs, 2 interceptions for 553 yards.
Came prepared.
Come on, I came prepared. I have
Stats.
somebody text me that so I won't sound stupid.
That's pretty good. All right.
So you riding with them Jags all the way home, huh?
Why wouldn't I? Come on, I rode with them when we sucked. Shoot, I'm riding with Florida State when we sucked.
Oh yeah, they read for real.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
you have ridden with them for a long time.
Yes.
They're off to a horrendously bad, shockingly bad start.
Yeah.
Under Willie Taggart.
Yeah, I think
You
we
hanging?
need I think we need to get them up out of there. We can't go
Real-
back and forth with them.
You already done
We
with
can't go
it?
back and forth with
They
them.
about to put Willie Taggart in that box Chevy and get him up out of there.
Yeah. He got to tap out.
Already?
Yeah.
So he's like in the Blake Bortles box.
Yeah. We can't go back and forth with him, though.
Duval. You can't get the man up out of there. You just gave him a 5-year deal for $30 million.
I didn't give him that.
But if you buy him out, it's gonna cost you over $20 million. You can't get the man up out of there in a donk Chevy already.
That's a lot of money, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
You got to give him a little chance.
Little time.
Yeah.
How much more time we got to give him?
Give him at least 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ in Latter-day Saints. That's a long time. Like, you know how long I had to go with the Jaguars struggling?
But y'all was good in the 90s?
Yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah.
This is 2018, bruh.
I mean, what?
Come on, bruh.
Hold on. New England wasn't always New England.
You're right.
They struggled for about 40 years.
Yeah, but that
You know,
wasn't
Tom
none of my
Brady
business.
fell out of the sky.
Tom Brady, he finna fall back down. He finna keep going down because it's
Better
over.
be careful. You're going to speak something out of existence, which is the Jaguars.
The devil is a lie.
Yeah.
The devil is a lie. I love y'all,
Careful,
man.
careful.
Hey,
You're
look here,
going to get
Skip.
my lightning in
Look
you.
here, Skip.
Yeah.
Look here, Skip.
I'm looking right at you.
I just wanted to keep saying it. Skip. Skip.
Say too much, man.
Yeah.
Look here, Skip.
Yeah.
Let
All
you
right.
come on tour with you.
Come on, pull up. I want you on tour with me. I want you, and I want you to bring us
Thanks.
out.
I appreciate that. I'm
Come
in.
on. Smile, Skip.
I want to tell some jokes. You know I got these jokes.
I know you do.
I got this joke, man. I keep this joke.
Man,
up.
my man, he in the penitentiary right now. Shout out Jay Ski. He tell me about you all the time.
Yeah.
They love you down there, man.
They love me?
They love
They love
you.
me in the pen?
Man, come on.
I rep.
Come on, man. You rap.
Hear that, Skip? I'm big in the pen.
Come on. He big in the pen.
For real, though.
If you let him tell jokes when you're on stage, he will destroy your show.
I
because
believe,
his
no, he
jokes
gonna
are
do
all-
his thing. He
they're all
gonna kill it.
lame.
No. For real, though,
The
Skip. I
streets
can
love Shannon, bro. Come on.
I'm real in these.
Come on. He
They
real in these
love
streets.
I done
Unk.
cleaned up.
They don't love Shannon. They
Yeah,
love
yeah. They
Unk.
don't. Oh, yeah.
A win is a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell about it.
A win is a win.
Hey, can you tell Skip how great LeBron is?
Oh, LeBron the truth. He is the truth. Like, and I'm so happy he came to the Lakers because I was really a Lakers fan too.
See?
I really was. Like, he made me like, but we've been struggling for a long time with Lakers, so I kind of went away. But now I'm back.
We dipped on him.
What about the Atlanta Hawks?
What about him?
Well, seriously, that's your hometown.
No, that's not my hometown.
Well,
Jacksonville's
it
my
is.
hometown. I live there to be
I
safe.
know, but that's
'cause I'm
where
from
you
Jacksonville.
live.
Yeah.
That's where you earn your keep is in an ATL.
Yeah, but I ain't gotta like them.
You don't?
I ain't gotta like the Hawks. The Hawks don't even like the Hawks. They don't even put enough money in the Hawks to try to win. They don't play to win.
What about the Falcons? You riding with the
I
Falcons?
mean, I like the Falcons. I like the Falcons, but not over the Jaguars.
No.
Never.
No.
Never wear.
So
it.
how many championships will LeBron win in Los Angeles?
How many championships? He not gonna win this year, the year coming up, but I think in like 2-3 years he gonna get one.
What, was he going to play till he's 50?
That can happen now.
Yeah.
That
He's
can
gonna
happen.
play as long as Tom Brady playing. How about that?
Yeah.
Well, I hope he does.
Yeah, you better not hope
But he's
that
only
because
like
he's 34.
34.
So he gets 7 more years. He gonna have all the records.
You're
And by-
16, you're 17, you're 18.
Okay, you know who coming?
Who?
Next year they getting a D. They getting AD or KD. Book it.
Because
Okay.
they don't play D, so they
Don't
better
worry about
get
that.
D.
We getting
right?
KD or AD. Now run tell that.
Run tell that Skip.
All I know is LeBron is living his best life in LA.
Oh yeah.
Come
Oh, you
on.
see him? He was on Insta. He was on IG last night blowing them cigars. Yeah, his boy in the backyard.
He was blowing
Brentwood.
a cigar.
I started to pull up. I started to pull up on.
Pull
him.
up on him.
Yeah, for real though.
Pull up.
You know that'll stunt your growth.
No,
Look at me. My legs are swinging. You hear me?
well, dude, you must have been smoking that like 6 months.
Come on, man. I've been smoking. I just started smoking like 2 years ago.
Is this a confession or what?
Yeah, you lying.
Yeah, no, I swear, I hadn't smoked the day before that.
Yeah?
And then what happened?
It changed my life. I've been popping ever since. You see, I'm on this show right now,
Did
living
it-
my best life.
Well, did it inspire that song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it brought out my voice because I sang better when I'm high.
Really?
Yeah.
So you was in the video, you high?
Come on now. Come on. That's part
High
of my
than
job.
giraffe head?
Come on.
I mean, I be a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm always high. Yeah, I'm always high. It's a blessing. Like, I could be high now.
I can
My
tell.
life is amazing.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Come on, man.
You hit the lottery, man.
Yeah, no, this was a blessing. This was gonna happen with or without anybody. You know, I was happy. Like, even if this song didn't do nothing, I was still happy.
So how many nights a week you on the road doing comedy?
I'm on the road, like, even before this, I've been on the road, like, if it's 52 weeks in a year, maybe about 47 of them. But I'm doing what I love to do. You know, every weekend I'm on the road performing somewhere. And now I'm about to take it to a whole nother level, now incorporating this music with this comedy thing, try to build a whole new lane for comedy in general.
Right.
I got to tell you, I admire you because that is scary what you do.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
There are nights you walk out there and you're telling the same jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're looking into their eyes and they ain't responding.
It's the hardest thing to do. Yeah. That's why this
To get
music
somebody
thing is
to get
easy.
somebody to laugh.
Yeah, stand-up is the hardest.
It
I
is.
think, in my opinion, it's the hardest form of entertainment to
I
do.
agree.
So me doing this music is just easy. Me performing is easy, you know.
So how much time do you spend in putting pen to pad?
I usually I write down the premise to remember it, and then I just try to let it come out on stage.
Right.
That's usually that's my formula for the most part. Cause I hate writing. Like if I didn't want to, that's why I didn't do good in school. I was a comedian.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing good now.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
No.
For being here.
Thank y'all for having me.
Your smile
Appreciate
is
that, Skip.
infectious.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean, you want to say Skip anymore?
Yeah,
And
Skip.
the last few times
Appreciate that,
before you
Skip.
go?
Look here, Skip.
Keep it up. No mercy. The start of Patrick Mahomes' career is literally one for the record books. He has thrown 10 touchdown passes, which are the most for a quarterback in the first 2 games of a season in the Super Bowl era. Yesterday, Hall of Famer Brett Favre praised Mahomes. Let's take a listen.
I think Mahomes' talent is as good as anybody in the league now and has ever played the game. And he's going to pose problems to coordinators. Yeah, I'm not going to say that they haven't faced before, but I think the kid will get nothing but better. I think the guy has played outstanding, and he was drafted in the first round for a reason. And they traded up for him because they thought enough of him. And I think he's just proven that they made the right decision.
All right, Shannon, do you agree with Favre?
Yeah, no, please.
No?
Man, the guys play 1 or 2 games. We're anointing these guys too early. Clearly, he's physically gifted. He kid's about 6'2". He can throw the ball 70 yards. He once threw for 734 yards against Oklahoma. He had 819 total yards. So clearly he can throw.
I think Baker had like 800 yards.
I'm like,
But
wait
go
a
ahead.
second.
But Baker had a guy, I think Baker was hurt by his running back having for like 300 yards running the football. Is his arm talent, is it Marino, Aaron Rodgers? I don't think so, Skip. He has a big arm. Plenty of guys have big arms. It doesn't necessarily translate. But you have to look at the system that he's in. You look at what he has around him. He has 2 guys outside in Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins. He has a guy inside that can work the middle of the field and get down the seam in Travis Kelce. He has a running back that led the league in rushing who can also catch the ball out of the backfield. Yeah. But I think the most important thing that he got an opportunity to do, he had an opportunity to sit, wait, and learn. And not enough of these guys coming out of college get that opportunity. It used to be, Skip, they have a veteran guy there. The guy, you draft the guy in the first round or the second round, he stayed on the bench for a year or 2, got an opportunity to learn, see how to conduct himself, how to practice, how to meet, how to prepare, and then he took over and boom, you took off. Now they just throw the guy in there and feed him to the wolves. I mean, if you look at it, he didn't take his team to the playoffs his senior year, did he? One time in 3 years he was there, he went to the play. He went to a bowl game.
Yeah, went to a bowl game, yeah.
But
Not to the playoffs.
The
just
bowl
yeah.
game. So obviously, you put that kind of talent around him. I mean, there are not very many quarterbacks. Tom Brady ain't got that talent. Aaron Rodgers don't have that kind of talent on the outside, Skip.
That I thought you meant
No.
talent. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers has that kind of talent, but I'm talking about around him.
No.
I don't know if there's any other team that maybe being with AB and Juju and Le'Veon's not there, so even being
I think Fitzmagic might have it. He's got a lot.
Yeah,
man.
because OJ. But I'm saying though, but Skip, so you look at what he has. But even after, we see Deshaun Watson, okay, Deshaun is it. And we see him struggle a little bit. Dak, Skip, bad Dak. He struggled a little bit. Skip, we normally would have to wait at least 2 years before we could have a definitive one way or another if the guy good or not.
Well, Deshaun Watson, I love him, but he had a couple of rough games.
Yeah. So can we just see the guy? I know he got 10 touchdowns and 1 pick.
Yeah.
Can we just let him play a little bit more, Skip? As good as anybody ever?
I am with you on that conclusion. I believe Brett Favre sees a lot of his young self in this kid.
I do agree. I agree.
Because they're right out of the same mold. Because Brett came in with a huge arm, some athletic ability. He could run around a little bit. And you want to talk about a lot of riverboat gambling? That's all he was. He was just spitting it out, man.
Yes.
He would try anything at any time. He drove those coaches crazy up in Green Bay, Holmgren and Gruden and all that. Mariucci and Andy Reid was there, and they would all just sit back like, "What are you? Oh, touchdown!" Right? That was the young Brett Favre, and so he's seeing this kid operate the way he used to operate.
Right.
So on arm talent, does anybody have more? I think Aaron Rodgers has more arm talent than this kid does.
Yeah.
Velocity, I don't know.
No, Aaron don't have he doesn't have the kind of arm strength this kid
Okay,
has.
but arm talent, like you say, every platform, every throw. Obviously, Aaron can make every throw accurately.
Yes.
Do I see the deadly accurate throws from this kid? Again, I watched him a lot at Texas Tech because he's fun to watch.
So fun.
I mean, they just throw it all over the lot under Cliff Kingsbury.
700 yards is a lot of yards.
It's a lot of yards, but he went
Lot of
he went 13 and 19. They didn't have very good teams, but still, is he a dynamic leader who can just lift the whole team to big wins? He's not that guy.
Right.
And he threw interceptions in 21 of his 32 college starts. So he's just going to throw some picks.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure, I'm knocking on wood for him. I'm not trying to wish this upon him, but I think he's going to have some high interception games before this year is over because you know what this league does.
Yeah.
It studies, it finds your Achilles heel, and
Right.
it says, aha, what if we do that to
Right.
him? I don't know what it is yet because maybe he doesn't have one, but if he does, you don't think they're going to find it?
Oh, yeah, they are. But because they have so much, because you have Tyreek Hill who can flat out fly. It's
hard to
almost
defend,
impossible
yeah.
to play man coverage against him.
Yeah.
And then you have Sammy Watkins on the other side who's a big body guy that can run. And then you have Travis Kelce, who I think is the second best tight end behind Gronk.
Yeah.
And then you have Kareem Hunt.
Okay, can you start bringing pressure from everywhere? Can you throw kitchen sink at him
Yeah, but you
and
bet-
rattle him?
Well, Skip, you better not miss Sammy Watkins or Tyreek Hill. Because you miss Tyreek Hill, he going to hit his head on the goalpost.
All of them. I
Yeah.
mean, every one
and
of them.
that's the thing. I mean, they're so talented. And this kid is in the perfect situation. Now we understand. Because when the trade came in, you like, Andy, you traded up for him? He probably would have been there. Now you understand why they traded up for him.
Yep.
Now you understand why they were willing to move on with Alex Smith after one season.
Yep.
He's offering you a glimpse, giving you a glimpse inside to see what Andy saw.
Yeah, but Andy saw a whole lot. And you
Yeah.
know how Andy is, once he says, that's my guy,
Oh, yeah,
he's going to do everything in his power to prop this kid up and make him as great as he can be, as fast as he can be. Andy's really good at this,
Yes.
and he's Andy's guy. Andy didn't inherit him. Andy wasn't forced to take him. Andy didn't have to fall back on him because of injury. This was his guy.
Yep.
This was his future, and it's working beautifully. And Andy's like proud papa now.
Right.
And so is that not a great place to fall into?
I mean, he has a guy. I mean, think about, look at the guys that Andy coached. He had Donovan, who can make plays with his feet.
Yeah.
This kid can. He had Mike Vick.
Yeah.
Now, Mike Vick is probably the closest thing to this kid because of arm talent. Mike could throw the ball 80 yards. And he got there in a hurry.
I mean, this kid can't move like
No.
that.
Nobody can move like Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike was a dynamic, a unique talent in that way. But let's just watch the kid. Let's just watch him a little.
So I love this kid. We had him on the show. He's fun to be around. He's fun to talk to. He's lively. He's charismatic. He's just pleasant. He's always
True.
upbeat.
I've talked to him plenty. Yeah.
He's fun to be around. Andy's enjoying life again.
Yes.
I don't know if Alex Smith was that fun. He's a good guy, but this guy's just fun to practice with. And think about his background. He's mixed race, and his father was he lasted 11 years as a middle reliever, big league.
Big league.
Yeah, and he was pretty. That's hard to do.
Right.
So you're inheriting this legacy. You kind of grew up around big league locker rooms, right?
Yep.
Does that not help? Because every time I've seen some kid who grew up around stars, man, it just makes you feel like I can do this.
yeah,
I'm good at this.
It makes you
right?
want to do it. I remember when my brother got drafted
Yep.
and going in Green Bay and looking around like, man. This would be cool to be,
yeah.
be here. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
but Shannon Sharpe knows Sterling did this, man.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Oh, yeah.
I can
this
do
dude
this.
came out. I don't have to look at somebody else. Here's the guy that came out of my house.
Yeah.
And left Glenville, Georgia, and came to the NFL. He did, because I've always thought
I mean, when you stepped on the training camp field as a 7th-round draft pick with Denver, and there are 120 guys out there, you're still thinking, I'm Sterling Sharpe's brother.
Skip,
Right?
I didn't know they. I thought once you got drafted, they had to keep me for at least a year. I didn't know they could cut me. I'm like, they could cut that. Yeah, they could cut you. I'm like, oh.
Oh.
I was like,
Wait a second.
I was like, ooh.
When did you figure out they could let you go?
Yeah, but you don't think Dan Reeves is thinking his big brother was.
Yeah, and Dan said, he had the athletic ability, but Dan said, well, we questioned who did he play against. He put up astronomical numbers, but playing at Savannah State, how complex was the offense, how good was the talent he's going against. But I always felt, when I went to these bowl games and I'm looking around, I'm like, I'm better than you. You went to Notre Dame. I'm better than
Correct.
you. You went to Nebraska.
Yep.
I'm better than you. You went to Ohio State, Michigan. I'm better than you.
Yep.
And we'll see.
There you go. We'll see.
No mercy.
Thank you for listening to the Undisputed podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Jenny Taft. We're back at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. See you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.